Happy to be back with you on the Slow Burn Dynasty. We're in Season 3, Week 3. We are inching our way up the polls to 14. We started out at 16. We're gradually making our way up. We've got North Texas this week. But before we jump into anything recruiting-wise or scouting, we've got 1 point we can use for our defensive coordinator here, so we're going to use that. So Joe Coughlin's a level 18. We're going to get him a little bit better at coaching man coverage. You guys can definitely use that. So we got a bonus there. Will definitely help out our young cornerbacks and hopefully lead to some more interceptions. All right, let's check out ESPN and the college landscape. Looks like Texas jumps up to number 1 because, as you saw in our game of the week last week, Alabama went down to Georgia Tech. USC comes in at 2. Tennessee jumps up. You saw Justin Bryant leading Tennessee in the Week 1 game of the week. They took care of Old Dominion last week, it looks like. Penn State jumps up. Pittsburgh stays, they didn't play, but they stay pat with Michigan State as well. Oregon moves up. Army jumps. Ole Miss goes up 1. And then Bama's down at 10. 11 stays the same. Oklahoma drops down. They lost to Army last week. Army, for some reason in this game, just continues to climb the polls. I don't know how they do it, but the game favors them, I think. Nebraska moves up, we move up. Arizona State moves up. Notre Dame lost to Texas last week. Washington, Georgia Tech, Miami, Wisconsin, they all move up a little bit. Georgia jumps into the polls because they're 2-0 and they're in the SEC, but they only beat FCS East. Missouri goes up a little bit. Ohio State lost to Oregon, so they move down 3. Florida State jumps in, and then Virginia Tech. So after 2 weeks, we are still the only non-Power 5 team in the top 25. All right, Heisman watch, we got Ray Anderson up top. Willie Gore staying solid. Here, Justin Bryant jumps in after their game against Old Dominion. I went for 401 in the air, 122 on the ground, 5 total TDs. That'll get you in it. And then Frank Johnson from Clemson moves down. And then Jay Clark from Ole Miss jumps in there as well. Championship contenders were kind of staying pat at A-. I'm not going to look into this too much, maybe more as the year goes on. Quick check on toughest places to play. It's probably going to stay the same. I'm just going to scroll down and see where we're at. I guess we do jump to 36. We won 7 in a row, so I think we moved up 4 spots here. Hopefully we can continue that trend. All right, quick stat check-in. You can see there's Theo Cruz coming in at 28th in the nation, 427 passing yards. That's a good start for him. DeMarcus Kroll coming at 25th with 210 yards. He had that big game last week, which is great to see out of him. Williams comes in 75th receiving with only 125. Again, we spread the ball around so much, and I don't think we throw as much as these other teams, but hopefully we can keep a guy in the top, 50 maybe. We'll see as the season goes. And hopefully I can get Kroll and Lewis 1,000 yards each, so that's going to bite into receiving yards as well. Tackle leaders, there's Holland at 9. Hopefully he becomes as prolific as Edwards was, but he's 35th in the nation right now. But look at Tennessee, they got all their guys up there. Nobody has a sack yet over 2 games. Hopefully we can change that this week, get some more pressure on the QB, so we'll keep working on that. Interceptions, Lemon just has 1, so 126th, but he's not far behind. It's early in the season, but we definitely got to ramp up our pressure on the QB and some turnovers. Kicking leaders, there's Brown with a 43-yarder. Not sure what his range is, but I'm guessing 43 is pretty close to his end range. All right, let's move on to recruiting. All right, so we've got 100 points to spend. Mike Woods are dropping, looks like 100, looks like 190 to Stanford. I think Mike Woods is somebody we're going to battle for. Just as a middle linebacker, it'd be nice to get him. We may have to decide between him and Reggie Johnson and Mike Johnson as well. We're losing some ground on these guys. I don't think we're going to be able to get all 3 of them. We just don't have enough points to put into them each week. If we had 550 even, we could be making ground on Reggie Johnson. If we had 700, we could be putting more to Mike Johnson, but that's not how it is right now, so we're going to have to decide between maybe these 3. Kyle Walker, I think I'll just stick with him just because he's local. Sometimes you get a boost late in the season. We'll see. But we'll see how much we keep dropping here. But definitely have to decide between, and then even Marcus Hurst. So our top 5, Kroll's doing well, yeah. So our top 5 guys, we have to decide, between 1 or 2 of them, most likely just 1 of them, and then use those 1,500 points on guys we have a really good chance with. But we'll decide that as the season goes. Clayton Kroll making good progress. Frank Kendrick we switched points onto last week, which was good. Both our QBs are making good ground. Corey Stevens, the tight end, looks like we'll keep pulling away with him. Thad McCullough, we're in a good position with him. Again, he's a junior college guy, offensive lineman. Bruce Hodges, a strong safety we put points into late. I don't know if I'm going to keep him, just because I think we have 5 strong safeties returning next year, which is more than enough. Maybe one of them could move to outside linebacker or free safety, but Bruce Hodges I don't think is a priority as we kind of go through these, especially into week 4 after we add new guys this week. Jacob Morrow's looking good. Mark Smith, the kicker, looking good with him as well. Ernie Hicks, just dropping too many points week 3. We are going to cut ties with him. Tommy McKinney, dropping too much. Looks like Arizona was really set on him and pouring a lot of points into him. We'll cut ties with Tommy. Alex Webb, not dropping too much here for a tight end. His grades aren't bad, a lot of C's, so maybe we'll keep him on the board depending on what our other needs are and what we can find from around the region this week. Phillip Bell, again, I explained it last week, bringing in Phillip Bell, if he's 63 overall and he makes one of our other 2 redshirt freshmen transfer out, it's not really a good trade-off because then I got a redshirt Bell and we lose the development that those other 2 guys could have had. So instead of having a 67 overall redshirt freshman, I've got a 63 overall freshman. He's got to be redshirted and can't play. So I don't know if Bell's going to stay on. We are in the lead, so I think right now I'll keep him on. Ulysses Dowdle, you look at him, he a lot of C's, not the best acceleration. He's going to be an offensive guy, so catching, maybe running back. I just don't know if that's our need right now, so I'm going to cut ties with Ulysses. Brad Rodriguez looks good. Let's see what he is. A lot of C's, a defensive guy for sure. Let's see what his measurements are. 6'3", 238, maybe a DN type, but no block shedding. I'm guessing he is an O lineman, although his tackle is up there. But if you look at power move, finesse move, block shedding, none of that is good. I'm guessing he's an O-line type. I hate parting ways with athletes, but I think Brad Rodriguez is off our board. Josh Grant is looking good. Wide receiver is not a need of ours, but if we can get a solid receiver, and when we can get guys that are over 65, I definitely want to keep them on the board, I think. Greg Bowen, just losing too much on him to keep him on the board, so he's off. Matt Rogers, same thing. Jeremy Davis, again, just not good enough and losing too many points. Harvey Allen, this is where it'd be nice to be able to scout, but again, I put that restriction on. So I really have to kind of decide. I think what I'm going to do is when we pull up the recruiting board actually and start adding new guys, I'm going to check into the offensive linemen we have on. I'm going to check their squat, check their bench, and make sure they're numbers that I like before I put points into them or offer them a scholarship. Josh McKenzie, losing 30 here. He's a JUCO kid, a running back. I just don't think we need him. This is where recruiting, if you're just playing, or if I was just playing on my own, I'll just add guys, I'd take anybody. But trying to be more strategic here with the guys we actually need and that fit our team and the needs that we have. Let's move on to Mike Latimer, making good ground. Again, linebackers, not a big need of ours. We'll leave him as is. Mike Miner losing too much. It would be nice to get a cornerback and a free safety, or a free safety. I think we need a free safety. But again, we have those 5 strong safeties as well, so maybe not the highest need of ours right now. But Tyler Gillette looks like a good free safety option for us, so we'll keep him on the board. Alan Barber, again, he's out of Colorado. We're gaining ground. It doesn't look like he can move to outside linebacker with his, no power move, finesse moves, block shedding. I think for now we'll keep him on the board, just in case we do need to move him to maybe free safety if we sign him and we miss out on Gillett or another corner. Christian Vanner moving up. Again, we need a quarterback, and I think maybe even two. So we'll keep him on the board. Ryan Henderson, Arizona's going after him. We're going to pop him off the board. Jeff White, again, outside linebacker. Let's see what he's at. He's B and B. Speed-wise, I think we're going up. He's not a terrible prospect, so we'll keep him on the board. We do need a running back. Foster's moving up. Long is losing, so we'll take him off the board. All right, so we'll keep these guys on, and I'm going to go look for some new guys within our region that are 65 overall or lower, and I'm going to double check on the offensive linemen we have and make sure that their numbers are good enough that I can be confident in offering them points and scholarships. So if we sign them, they overtake the guys that are going to train, and he won't force them out and, again, miss out on all that training. So I'll show you guys what I find when I get back. Alright, quick update. Philip Bell is not going to make it. His bench press just wasn't high enough, was at 345, and his squat was at, I think, at 585. So just not enough to move him to where we need him to be. So Philip Bell is off. Alright, after scouring through the rest of the recruits in our region, I got Ryan Henderson here. I can't remember if I took him off, but he was interested, and I feel like I cut him. Yeah, because Arizona's going after him. But as I think about it, so most of the time I like to bring in a guard, a tackle, and move them to center because they go up. But if I bring in a guard and they're just as good as the guys we have, it's going to force one of the guards out probably. And if I bring a center in, it's not going to do that. So I'm going to go after Ryan Henderson. I'm going to find some more points here because we're losing by 155 to Arizona. So I'm going to see if I can go after him a little bit harder. I'm going to move him up the board, and we'll probably put Smith to 100. Morrow is going up well enough. So we'll get Henderson. Hodges. Okay, so Hodges I'm going to knock down to 100 because we don't really need him. He's just 69 overall. Not something we can normally get. And I don't know if I want to pass on him. It looks like his press is pretty good. His hip power is pretty good. Speed, maybe something to be desired, but then acceleration's up there. So looks like a pretty good player. I don't want to take all the points off him. But I do want to go after Ryan Henderson pretty hard here. So we're going to bump him. I might just put him to the top because center is a need of ours. All right, as for the other guys I found, Martin Johnson, the running back. Again, running back is a need of ours. He comes in with B speed, B acceleration, B agility, kind of an elusive back. Spin move, juke move is up there. Break tackle and trucking aren't up there, but he's fairly elusive. So I think somebody that could develop in our backfield. Here's the big one. We were able to get a 4-star recruit from last week's event wheel, and this is who I added. Free safety, Adam Carpenter. Again, off the low lock. Nobody else was kind of valuing him. You can see he's interested in some of these big schools, but they're maybe not seeing what he's worth. He's out of Oklahoma. That's a pipeline state we want to get, and so he's a perfect fit for us. And I'm hoping when we add him this week, and then we can put more points in next week and really jump up, because free safety is a need of ours. Next, we got Matt Preston, another halfback. He is 66 overall, one over our restrictions. However, he is from Arizona, right next door. And so I figured since we're a 3-star school, we could probably start pulling some better players. And Matt Preston is going to be the first one over 66. But everybody else is 65 or lower. Next, we got Eric Lane. You can see he's 69 overall. He's a JUCO 1-star. But I looked at his bench press and squat. He is at a 470 bench press and a 665 squat. I think that was good for like second or third overall in the class. So I think he's going to be a real gem. I'm hoping, because if he comes in he could start right away. Then I also found a 2-star JUCO, Justin Wright, 71 overall. He comes in with a 405 bench and a 645 squat. So both these guys, I'm guessing, are going to be around the mid-70s, if not higher, is my guess, assuming that, their blocking kind of pans out. But here you can see Eric Lane has C's across the board for blocking. Usually the squat impacts that run block. And since he was, again, the third highest, I'm guessing that run block is going to jump to the mid-80s, if not 90. And the same thing, it looks like Justin Wright is maybe accurate there. So he might stay at 71, but still that's plenty good enough for us. Then I added a couple middle linebackers here. Again, just trying to get some more speed. He's got B speed, C acceleration. Here's a B speed, B acceleration, and B speed, B acceleration. That's what I'm looking for. And if I bring in a middle linebacker, it's not going to force Ray Mitchell out. And Ray Mitchell is that, I think he was at 88 speed or 88 acceleration, but mid-80s speed and acceleration. We want to keep him on our team, and so a middle linebacker will not force him out. All right, so that's who I've added. Again, hopefully we can get some points on these guys. I have to make a decision. Again, with these top guys, probably just going after one of these. I don't know if I can justify putting 500 points into somebody that we won't be able to get because we only have 3 unlocks available. So we'll have to see how it pans out. Maybe we get 2, but I've got to make a decision on 1 or 2 of these guys next week because we can't put points into these new guys. If I put points into these new guys this week, you can see when it says NA on the bottom there. If I put 500 into Martin Johnson right now, it does not affect him coming into next week. So I have to wait until he's on the board a week, then I can put points into him. So for anybody that we add to the board that's not interested in us, you have to wait a week to add points to him. Otherwise, it's a waste of points. So I'll keep points on these top guys, and I'll decide next week, which one we'll let go of. I'm guessing it'll probably be Kyle Walker if nothing happens. Maybe Kyle Walker and Mike Johnson. What is Reggie Johnson? He's a receiver though, and running back. And we do need a running back. So it's looking like it might be Kyle Walker and Mike Johnson. But again, we'll make that decision next week. So that's going to do it for recruiting. We won't be able to add anybody outside of our region until week 8. Which is a little bit more exciting. We can kind of expand into the whole nation. But for now, I'm happy with what we've got here. I'm really excited about those new linemen, and I'm hoping they turn into gems. All right, let's move on. All right, North Texas is out of Conference USA. They are coached by Jason Candle. Offensively, they got the Toledo spread playbook. Looks like they're going to run a little bit more than they pass. They're going to be slightly more conservative, which again, screens and draws. You saw last week Nevada hit us with, I think, 3 screens back-to-back late in the fourth quarter and got us on 2 of them for sure. But they ran a lot of screens. Defensively, they got 4-2-5, which is the same thing we run. 4-2-5, I think, makes reading on the read option a little bit more difficult. They're going to defend the run slightly more than the pass. They're going to be a little bit more aggressive, which to me this just means I think that their coverage, their zone coverage is going to be tighter. So we could possibly beat them deep because they're looking to stop all the short stuff. All right, Jason Kendall is a level 31 coach. You can see he's got a lot of bonuses here. He can call timeout, get all his players to hot, which again probably doesn't matter until late in the second quarter and then late in the game. Not a rivalry game, so he doesn't get this bonus, but they are less likely to cause penalties. So all those clippings, face masks that we saw last week may not happen as much with them. Defensively, they're coached by Peter Hansen. He has some good bonuses for the line and linebackers, kind of block shedding, a power move, finesse move, and a little bit for coverage. Offensively, they got Glenn Thomas. All the bonuses for all the skill players once they get the ball, and the quarterback for throwing, and their linemen get a little bump too. So definitely going to play more difficult than their ranked. All right, player-wise, they are led by Adam Branch on offense, 89 overall running back. Good speed, acceleration, agility, awareness. He can break tackles. Carrying is good enough. He's very elusive. His vision is good. Good strength, spin, juke. So this guy is a really good running back. I think we got to be ready to stop. Let's check out his stats a little bit here. So last year, went for 1,377 yards, 5.6 a carry, 6.6 a carry. This year, I think they just played one game, so he has 118 yards. So he's going to be a challenge for us to stop. On the line, they've got right guard Trent Briggs, redshirt senior, 87 overall, good speed and acceleration, great awareness, pass block, run block, impact block are all good, strength is good, and stamina even at 77. So this guy will be on the field. He'll be paving the way and protecting the quarterback. Next, we got wide receiver Travis Jackson, 6'6", 229 redshirt senior, 85 overall, 90 speed, 94 acceleration. We're going to look to get him the ball on the edge. Good catching, good route running, catching traffic, spec catch, jumping, all good enough. He can break some tackles after he gets the ball, so we got to be ready to stop him. And then lastly, they got quarterback William Weaver. Good size for a quarterback, redshirt senior, 84 overall. Good speed, acceleration, so he's going to be a scrambler. Throw power, throw accuracy at 85. He just nudges into the green on those attributes, which you like to see for your players. So he's going to be a good passer. He can break some tackles when he runs. He's pretty elusive, so somebody that can cause some problems for us. Defensively, they got John Pierce, 5'10", senior, 86 overall. Really good speed and acceleration. Man coverage, zone coverage, press, all really good. He can catch pretty well for a defensive back. Good play rec. His pursuit is really good. He can jump and contest those jump balls. Also in their defensive backfield, they got Marcus Hurd, redshirt junior, 85 overall. Good speed, acceleration, good awareness for his safety. He can tackle. Zone coverage is really good. Play rec is up there. He's got some hit power. Great pursuit. He can catch really well, and some good press. So they got two really good players in their defensive backfield. Next on defense, they got Andre Bush, redshirt senior, 84 overall, 81 speed, 87 acceleration. He's got really good tackling, really good block shedding. So he's going to be able to get to the ball, cause some problems, and bring our guys down. Really good hit power as well. He can cover a little bit, zone and man. Good strength. Can even rush the quarterback a little bit with some power moves, finesse moves. So a good linebacker for them. And then last on defense, they got Jeremy Cossey, 81 overall senior. Speed, acceleration, what you expect from a D tackle. He's got good strength. Tackling is good enough. He's got power moves, finesse moves up there. Block shedding is pretty good. Good enough pursuit and hit power. So, as we look at kind of the four best players on each side of the ball, North Texas kind of distributes their defense. They got, Jeremy Cossey on the line. They got a linebacker that's pretty good, and then two good defensive backs. So it's going to be a challenge for us. All right, depth chart wise, let's see if we can find any weaknesses. If Weaver does go down, we've got John Hicks behind him, redshirt senior, 73 overall only. We've got a decent freshman behind him, but Hicks will not be a scrambler. Running backs, they got Branch at 89. Horn looks like a solid running back, good speed. Weisbecker's back there, and Webster, the fullback, fills in. Fullback at 70, but they probably don't use him all that much, although he's got good speed, good acceleration. Wide receiver, there's Jackson, then Whitmore. Not much speed here with these 2 and 3 guys, but Rogers comes in at 91. Lindsey, so they're senior heavy here. Look at this. 5 seniors they're going to lose, and Phillips is a junior. So not much depth here. I guess I don't know roster-wise what they have, but a lot of upperclassmen here. Tight end looks good. Chuck Sherman, junior at 77. Left tackle at 83. Left guard 81. Center 82. There's Briggs. Right tackle 82. So it's going to be a good matchup for our guys. I'd really like to see Swain kind of dominate in the middle. When they go 81, 82, I think he can take advantage of those guys in there. And I think we just got equal matchups kind of throughout. Defensively, they got left end Hayford, not much speed. When I scramble, I tend to go to their left side. So hopefully I can outrun him if I need to. They got Rice behind him. On the other side, they go Robertson, a little bit better speed, but I don't scramble that way much. D tackle, they go 81, 78, both seniors again, and then freshman, sophomore. So they are an upperclassman-led team. Outside linebacker, there's Andre Bush. Middle linebacker, 67, freshman. Okay, good to know. Speed, not that great. Outside linebacker at 80. Okay, so that's gonna be a good matchup for us. Cornerback, we saw Pierce. There's Morris. Looks solid enough. Leonard, Mixon, and Arrington. So solid here, but I think again we match up well. Free safety, there's Hurd. Strong safety at 80. So they're going to be equally matched with us. I like a lot of our matchups. Their middle linebacker being a 67 overall, I really like that. Lindsey's going to be their kick returner and punt returner for some reason, and not Jackson. I suppose Jackson probably gets tired really fast from catching all the passes. And their long snapper is Trent Briggs. All right, this week we are going to skip the event wheel. I'm going to keep the sliders on what I had last week. I spun with the event wheel that all of our sliders are down to 5% for the first quarter. I like the challenge of that, so I'm going to keep it for this game and see how it goes. So that brings us to our strategy, our game plan. Again, an equally matched team. I think we've got some advantages, with Swain in the middle on our D-line against their interior linemen aside from their right guard. But I think he matches up with their center and left guard most of the time. And then at their middle linebacker being 67, we run up the middle a lot. I'm hoping we can get off double teams and get to him and get him, taken care of, or, on a counter, misdirect him. I think we can win that battle up the middle and just in the running game in general with that weak middle linebacker. Passing wise, looks like it's going to be equal. They've got the one really good cornerback. I think he matches up well with Blount and Williams, but I think most of our receivers go, what's Blount at 88, and then most of our other guys are 82, 81, 80. So I think we've got the advantage if we go 4 wide, if we go 5 wide. I think we can really give ourselves an advantage in those situations. So we'll have to be aware of that. And hopefully Freddie Wolf calls a really good game this week as well. All right, that is going to do it for our preparations for North Texas. We are at home. We're looking to build our stadium toughness and continue on, with the undefeated season. For North Texas, I'm sure this is a really big game for them. Take down the number 14 team in the country from within their region. They're probably looking forward to coming in and taking us down. I'm sure they prepared really well. But to see the result, you have to tune into the next episode. And until then, keep gaming, keep growing, and keep celebrating those obscure victories. Game on.